I myself have used the index method a few times now for different projects throughout the Avite project the last 3 years. Overall, very generally, I would say it's almost a step-to-step guide on how to think innovatively. It's a very easy way to like jump in to be innovative, and it gives you the like tools to think innovatively and work innovatively if you're not used to it. Because I weren't when I started. It helped a lot. It really did. It has 3 phases, 3 steps. It has the open space phase, persona phase, and the construction phase. And the open space phase is it's like a big mind map where you're a bunch of people. You write down all your ideas on paper. It could be all from products to target groups to what it would just to use for it. Then the next step is to go find someone who you could work with. Someone who has some of the same ideas. Maybe you can find a compromise and do a mixed idea if it's very close to each other. And I think the open space mind mapping is a good way to do stuff, because then you don't partner up in groups beforehand. You find your group based on ideas instead of who you want to play, who you want to play with, who you want to be with. And I think that can create a lot of both new relationships, work-wise, that you might not have thought of working with, like some classmates you don't hang out with a lot, but it can open up some new ways of working in class, so that's very, very nice. I really like that myself. You make a lot of new friends. And after you find your idea, I remember one time we found out something about that we wanted to make Viking ships and stuff like fun for teenagers again or something. Viking ship museums. So we wanted to do like a very interactive thing or something, so we had to make our target person, which is the second phase, the persona phase, where you have to create your target group or target person, where you have to draw out which person your product would you would like your product to get out to. So maybe if we did this Viking ship, it needs to be fun and interesting and interactive. So we did this, maybe this teenage guy, he's 15, he's maybe a bit bored and he has all his computer games, so that's fun enough for him. He doesn't want to go to museums. So you create this entire persona, you write down a lot of like punchlines and notes about his personality and what he does. And then you have your base on what you could create your product of. Third and final phase, which is the construction phase, where you have to create a model of some sort of your product and like bring together the persona idea and the open space mind map idea to one big real visual thing. And I know my friend Sophie said this also, that by having this very creative thing at last, it really brings in a lot of people's talents. It's not all people maybe who have the best ideas, but they know maybe how to bring them alive on paper or on a computer or anything. They maybe have some other talents, and then you can really use each other's strengths in a work process like the index one. You can, if you have one who's good at drawing, you have one who's good at who's really good at knowing people, and one is really good at like making stuff up, very good at imagination. You can also use each other and make a very great product at the end. If I think about myself, I think the index way of working has been very useful. Also outside of the Avita project in classes, that it really got you thinking about like how to brand your way out of stuff, and it's really been a good way to like start up this innovative process. Like if you want to do, you could do it in English, like if I need to sell my essay to my teacher, how could I write it so it would be more up her alley or something like that. Or I could use it for when we made films. Like if I want to make a movie for kids, then what kind of film should I make visually or something like that. So it has really given me some resources to like think back on. You don't have to use the entire index method like step by step afterwards. You can always use it, but it really gives you a good solid base to work out of in the future. So I think that the index method has been very useful for me, and I'm glad we worked with it at the AVT project. Bye.